The man deliberately called in several luxury cars to block the ambulance, unaware that his mother was the one inside. Earlier, his mother had suffered a sudden stroke, and her condition was critical. The wife immediately called her husband, but he was on a date with his first love and didn't want to be bothered. Hearing his wife say that his mother was ill, he refused to believe it, assuming his wife was deliberately disrupting his date. Furious after the call was hung up, the wife focused on getting her mother-in-law to the hospital. However, a sports car blocked her path. She realized it was her husband's car. She called him again, asking him to move, explaining that his mother had collapsed from a stroke. But he thought his wife was blaming him for being with his first love, and accused her of cursing his mother deliberately. He then hung up immediately. Realizing her husband wouldn't believe her, she recorded a video and sent it to him, only to find that he had already blocked her. At this point, the first love took out her phone to smear the wife, claiming the wife was rushing to the hospital to save ex-boyfriend. Seeing the news, the husband assumed the ambulance carried his wife's ex-boyfriend. He immediately called his friends to surround the ambulance. The wife had to get out of the car to reason with him, but no one would budge. The man stepped out and questioned his wife, demanding to know who was in the ambulance, and why he should give way. The wife repeated several times that it was his mother, but the man refused to believe her. He pulled out his phone, showing that his mother was in a meeting at work. The wife suggested he check the ambulance himself. At this moment, the first love pretended to feel dizzy, intentionally stopping the man from approaching the ambulance. Seeing this, the wife became furious, slapped the first love, and threatened that if anything happened to her mother-in-law, the first love would have to take responsibility. The husband slapped his wife to defend his first love. His friends supported him, saying he did the right thing. The wife couldn't believe her husband would disregard his mother's life for his first love. She warned him he'd regret this for the rest of his life. But the man insisted he was only taking his first love to the hospital, accusing his wife of being unreasonable. A nurse ran over and pleaded with the wife, asking her to convince her husband to move the car. The nurse explained the mother-in-law's vital signs were fading fast. The man, seeing the nurse cooperate with his wife, believed his wife must have bribed the nurse, thinking they were scheming together to deceive him. To vent his anger, the man demanded his wife kneel and apologize to the first love. Only then would he let the ambulance pass. Remembering how kind her mother-in-law had been to her, the wife relented and knelt to apologize to the first love. But because her apology lacked sincerity, her husband slapped her again. The nurse urged them to move quickly, warning that the patient was in grave condition. The wife desperately pleaded with her husband to move the car. The first love accused the wife again, claiming her urgency was to save her ex-boyfriend. The wife, enraged, slapped the first love again. Furious, the husband declared he wouldn't move no matter what, insisting the ex-boyfriend would die there. He arrogantly added that if she wanted to get past, she'd have to drive through him. Without hesitation, the wife got into the driver's seat of the ambulance. She picked up the loudspeaker and began a countdown. Realizing his wife was serious, the husband quickly got into his car with his first love, blocking the ambulance's path repeatedly on the road.